Guys, I tell you this as a soldier, if you are general or something like that, it's simple. You know what I mean? You is like your body. So you need to see, you need to hear, you know what I mean? And then you need to move. That's ability to move, you know what I mean? So in the military, you need to see, and that's why there is communication and uh, CIA and KBG and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To see, to hear is also those kind of devices, those kind of people. You know what I mean? And then ability is the soldiers, the life that you have. How many fire do you have? You know what I mean? How many fire you have is the how many fire you have is the what's it called this how many fires you have is the quantity of the soldiers, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna think about it, like you're gonna calculate this like I tell you this, before you make any strategy, you need to understand everything is matter, you know what I mean? Like when you are trying to make a strategy for your military, you need to count the environment, you need to count the training that your company have, equipment, very important. So basically, if you are really want to be a strong military, you need to invest a lot in weapon, you know what I mean? like like I tell you this, imagine somebody else is the commander in chief of the country, you know what I mean? Okay, let's say, imagine, man, the, uh this minister, what's it called this uh the minister, the 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 military, the Department of Defense minister. So basically, when that person is somebody like me, you know what I mean, like first command, God's number one, God soldier was first command. So the military will be fire, you know what I mean? Because the military will get and develop and be ready for the war that they're gonna have, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? So one of me is what's happening right now. Like what's happening right now is one of me. Imagine if we have thousand of me, skull. Imagine if we have 10,000 of me, skull, 10,000 skull. So basically, I just want you to count that and know that and think about that. So, anyways, guys, the military is the way I said it. Like the more experts you have, the more most likely to win. You know what I mean? So so basically, guys, you need research. Like if the military doesn't have research, that's not a military. You know what I mean? If you don't have a research, I tell you this: you are not military if you don't make your weapon. You know what I mean? If you don't make your weapon, then you are just a, a young kid trying to just scare the people. You know what I mean? You are nothing. You will be like, you know what I mean? So basically, um, military needs to have research. You know what I mean? research, not only one researcher. Like we need to have like scientists, you know what I mean, in the military, you know what I mean. That's very important, you know what I mean. Very, very important. Basically, man, guys, you know what I will do? I would uh make the military uh, manage themselves by themselves, you know what I mean. So basically, we would have even the money, like the salary of the military. Military gotta make that salary, you know what I mean. So basically, man, I know somehow some ways to do that, but I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, um, the military need to have a geologist. You know what I mean. Geology is very important. You know what I mean. Scientists, all science. You know what I mean. Like biology, like chemistry, like physics, all those kind of things is very important. You know what I mean. So basically, years after every decade, we will go a milestone of million years. You know what I mean. Every decade, we will reach a very, 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 very power, very power. We will be very powerful every decade. Then 2030 will be more powerful. 2050 will be more powerful. So that's how it is. That's my plan. You know what I mean? So, anyways, at the beginning, nobody is qualified for their rank. You know what I mean? No one is qualified for his rank. But it's okay. That's at the beginning. You know what I mean? But we go in there. You know what I mean? Like to make everybody qualify for their rank. So, guys, I want to tell you, like, we will be having like two Air Force, you know what I mean? The two Air Force are the Hunter, American Hunter, and American Eagle, you know what I mean? What's the difference between American Hunter and American Eagle? American Eagle basically is developed and made to dominate the air, you know what I mean? And American Hunter is made and prepared to uh to strike, you know what I mean? Like at least this when a hunter is moving, at least you need the target is 5 mile or 10 mile square. That's the target, you know what I mean? At least minimum, you know what I mean? Like in order for you to make eagle to like in order for you to make the American hunter to move, like you be like, oh, American hunter, I want you to move and do this and this and that for me, you know what I mean? That's target means that you have a target. Minimum is 5 mile square, you know what I mean? 10 mile square. So guys, those are the two air force that we have. Number one, the dominate of the air. Number two, uh, the hunter, the strikes. So that's basically those two is what military use for air. You know what I mean, and for attack. But there is the psychotic dark sky. That's a little bit is like supporting the troops, you know what I mean, on the ground, So then so anyways, some like that. I give them little feature where they can help the other branches to be tougher and stronger, you know what I mean, to be fire. So anyways, guys, and we are those two are the two air, and we have ocean. We have ocean. Like I tell you, the Zabania is separate. You know what I mean? Zabania is not in. Zabania is separate than this. You know what I mean? Cause Zabania is. I tell you this. Zabania is, man. They are the guardian. You know what I mean? Like when we were fighting, let's say we are America, but for example, I'm gonna use it for example. I don't want a war with nobody. So let's say we are about to have a war with China, you know what I mean? Zabania, they will lock all the border, American border, or our kingdom, or our country border, and they will defend the country. That's their job. They will never gonna attack, you know what I mean? And the Rocky Lion and those others, they will attack, you know what I mean? So that's the difference between Zabania and the others. So we will have inventory. We will have inventory boots on the ground is Rocky Lion. You know what I mean? A Rocky Lion will be like that soldier. That he will be like soldier that man, like warrior. You know what I mean? Like vampire. You know what I mean? So that's the Rocky Lion vampire. You know what I mean? The Rocky Lion. You can call the Rocky Lions the vampires. You know what I mean? So those people, they're gonna be under on the ground, and some of them will have artilleries like 07 The Rock will have missiles. What's it called this? And so anyways, I'm not gonna go deep in that. So basically, Rocky Lion is the man. He is vampire. So he in secure. So basically, Rocky Lion is used to go deep and deep and deep in the enemy territory. You know what I mean? So Rocky Lion will reach places that nobody reach it, you know what I mean, in the military, you know what I mean. Rocky Lion will go deep, 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 deep. Yeah. Like he will find you. Like if you are under the ground, like let's say 200 miles, Rocky Lion will bring you. If I want you, Rocky Lion will bring you, you know what I mean. 300 miles under the ground. Rocky Lion will bring you, you know what I mean? So Rocky Lion to reach is deep and deep and deep and deep. That's why I built the Rocky Lion. And and there is a blue whale. So American whale, I mean. The American whale is the ocean dominator, you know what I mean? Like they dominate the ocean. Like a navy, they are a navy that are like very strong, very powerful. You know what I mean? You know, so basically, you can call them like the. You can call them Aquaman, or you can call them like. You can call them the. So they are fire. They are fire. Believe me, you know what I mean. They're so powerful. Cause to be honest with you, like uh, like whenever I feel something or something is this or that, or whenever I I basically not whenever, every time the American wild will be shutting down Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, you know what I mean, will be shut down. So 700 miles from the Pacific and the Atlantic, 700 miles from America to the to the Atlantic and America to the Pacific will be curfew, you know what I mean? No one will move over there. So basically, we're 700 miles, no weapon or military can get to that area, you know what I mean? If you get that to that area, you gotta ask a permission, you know what I mean? If you wanna move, like we gotta know. There is uh, uh, permission, and you come to Cuba, then you will sink. You know what I mean? Automatically. You know what I mean? You're gonna sink. So, anyways, when you come into Cuba, when you come into what's it called this Venezuela and those countries, South America, you gotta let us know, or you will sink. You gonna sink, and they will sink, and you're gonna be having case in Supreme Court. You know what I mean? So we will bring you. So your ships they're gonna sink, and we will bring you to the Supreme Court to judge you. You know what I mean? So I just want you to know that. You know what I mean? If you saying like how you can judge a president of Russia or president of China or president of some country, I tell you, you know, I'm above the law. You know what I mean? I make the law. I create the law. You know what I mean? So basically, do it, and I will show you that I can bring you in 6 hours. 6 hours I'll bring you. So do it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, guys, that's all I want to say. I'll continue in the next video. See you in the next video, guys. Salute to the eagle. Always salute to the eagle.